Yeah, I think it was a long afternoon for my lads in terms of out of possession. They put some really hard yards in, which is what I wanted them to do. You know, full credit to them. They're a really good football inside. Their movement, the way that they play, they're well drilled. That was causing us problems, especially in and around the midfield area. So yeah, it was a fantastic, you know, exercise in terms of for my players. But I think, you know, when you play against better sides like that, you know they're going to move the ball well. It's hard. It's hard. You have to communicate, and I think for me it was a good learning curve for me, and also some of the players in the dressing room. But you know, the spirit in the side. You know, we've created quite a few chances in the second half. We've hit the bar. You know, keepers made some good saves. Quite an even game second half. I think probably they was a little bit better in the first half than us. We've gone in. We scored first. We've bounced back when we conceded. Shown good resilience. So yeah, a lot of positives.
And Alfreton have a very clear target man in Tom Denton. How do you think the centre-back partnership dealt with him today?
Very well. You know, they kind of neutralised him. They moved the ball side to side and then looked to play into him, play off him with the 3 or 4 midfielders buzzing in and around him. So they've got that well drilled. But I thought the defence was excellent. First 5 minutes of the game, they was putting the bodies on the line, making some good blocks. Willows made some good saves, just come out, put some punches, commanding his box. You know, I played against Tom myself. He's an handful, but I think they've dealt with that threat really well this afternoon. And I felt that their main threat probably was the two either side of him in the wide men, and the middle number 11 making the midfield run. So yeah, he's a tough player to play against, but they've marshalled him well this afternoon. Big Rom and Kieran, and when Marley came on, done the same. You know, Sam's winning headers at the back, stick against him, just putting the bodies on the line, and that's what you have to do.
And up the other end of the pitch, you had Jamie Walker obviously scored for us today, and Jack Rogers on the other side. Both of them had a lot of chances today. Could have got a couple themselves. How important were they today?
Yeah, I think that, you know, the quality that they possess allows us to leave them 1v1 and get out the men. And you know, Jack hit the bar. I think he probably deserved the goal. You know, probably wasn't at his best in the first half, and I think he'll admit that himself. The second half, he really come into it a little bit more when he came back on. But he looks lively. Jamie obviously triggered the press. You know, high up the pitch and scored his goal, got his just rewards. You know, Alex did some tireless running up there. You know, he's probably coming back to fitness in terms of he's not 100% at the minute, but. Yeah, the top end of the pitch, we always look dangerous on the counter attack. We've got pace, we're direct, and that's something that, you know, we will look to exploit in the recent weeks coming up.
And obviously you had the 16 today, a couple absentees,
yes.
But is this what we can expect sort of going into the season, this 16?
No. There's 5 players missing that, you know, me and Swinney and Lefty's got a real headache, but you know, you have to have a squad going into a season, and yes, there will be some disappointed people next week when they're not in the squad, but I think, you know, you look at some of the players that are missing, there's some quality there that's not here today. You know, there's 6 in total, I think, 5 or 6 missing, so you know, you add that to the mix, you know, it's going to be a real problem for me to pick a side next week. But I'd rather have that than worrying, you know, we're going to have to play him here or squeeze him in here because we've not got this. So for me, I think there's competition all over the pitch and it's good. So we'll have a look at training next week. But these lads, to be fair, have done themselves no harm today in terms of the 16 as a group.
Yeah. And looking at the bigger picture, sort of pre-season as a whole, the matches, training, how do you feel like it's gone? Just like summarise it.
I think it's gone very well. I think they've applied themselves all over pre-season, the right work ethic. You know, today was going to be a totally different kettle of fish in the team and the calibre of team that was playing in. You know, Billy's got his teams playing the way he plays, and they've always been a good side. So we knew it was going to be a big test today. So for me, today was probably the benchmark where we're at, and I'm very, very happy where we're at. They've kind of shown it through, you know, glimpses of all the way through pre-season in certain stages in games. Today they put it all together, gave a battling performance, and that's the long Eaton that everybody knows that they're going to get. So yeah, very happy with the way they're at the point of this season, and it bodes well for going into next week training and into next week's game.